All right, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome for the Appian demo. So before we start, I just like to introduce ourselves. I'll start myself. So my name is Ravi, and I having around 10 and 11 years of experience in Appian development. I will be taking the Appian basic training for all of you once you get confirmed. Today we are going to discuss about the Appian demo. We'll talk about the Appian, how Appian is and how it works, what the technology it uses, and all right. So that's it. Anyone wants to go next and let me know, because I just want to know the audience. How what kind of people we have. Sometimes we see more, you know, kind of college pass outs, and then someone sometimes it's experience. We have to design a way the program in a way that it could fit for everyone. So yeah, anyone wants to introduce?
Yes, yeah, myself, Maurya, and I'm having 6+ years of experience in IT, but in different technologies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
currently
development,
huh?
so development, what?
No, no, no. It is a kind of non-IT,
Non IT. Okay. Okay.
completely non-IT. So currently I'm not working. So I searching in ChatGPT or somewhere. So comparing to other technologies,
Mm-hmm.
Appian is a low-code platform.
Right.
So it is easy to learn and you can survey easily. So that's why
Right. Yeah.
I moved to here. Yeah.
No, thanks for you. Anyone else? Rakesh?
Yes, I'm Sushma Boyapati. I'm
Mm-hmm.
having 3 years of experience. I want to learn different technologies. That's why I'm
So you have experience in IT, I mean development?
no, not developer, but I'm working as in production support in
Okay.
production support. So I
Okay.
wanted to shift something else. That's why I have chosen this.
Okay. Thank you. Start. You want to go next?
Hey, hi guys. This is Mustaq. Uh, Good to meet you guys. I'm currently in US and I just completed my masters.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about my experience back in India, I had like 2 years of experience as a RPA developer.
Okay.
It's been more than 1 year. I am in market here in US. I'm trying
Mm-hmm.
to get jobs in multiple domain. I did my masters in data science.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them, like the market recession is hitting hard.
Yep.
And one of my brother is working as a app and BPM developer.
Mm-hmm.
Like he have like even he came to masters. He had the same struggle story and he suggested me to, and he gave the
Right.
Harsha Training guy's number,
Right.
and he's my brother. So that's the thing I joined here. Before
Okay.
that, I never heard about Appian.
Okay. No worries. It's
Yeah,
fine. Uh,
yeah, yeah. Like, that's it about me. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Krishna. We were just talking about, I mean, discussing about, quite quick introduction. Do you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, Harsha.
Hi.
Um, should I need to introduce myself?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah. Myself, Netaji Krishna. I'm from Hyderabad. Actually, I'm working in Cognizant.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I'm upgrading my skill. So I
Mm-hmm.
came to here. So I
Okay.
learn about this Harsha trainings and I came here.
Okay. So what technology you are working on currently, Krishna?
Delbumi.
Okay.
So now
Okay.
I'm trying.
All right. All right. Yeah. Thanks. And we have Krishna. I mean, we have talked about already, but yeah, Krishna, if you would like to introduce among the new fellows.
Hi, guys.
Krishna Shah. We have two Krishnas. Okay, that's fine. All right, guys. So we have kind of mixture of the group. Someone has experience, but someone has non-IT as well, and someone has like kind of freshers. So we'll design our course in a way that very basic, so everyone can fit there. if someone has already experienced and if you're like oh, this is very simple, I know this, then let me know. I mean, we can, but we have to go to combine, to see if everyone works fit in the course or not. All right. So before we talk about any other things, right, still let's know about the Appian, because I don't see any member here knows about Appian. So what Appian is basically? Any idea about Appian? A few members have mentioned that they don't know what Appian is, but anyone else has no any idea about what Appian is? Anyone? No? Okay. So Appian is basically a BPM tool. If you think about the, if we are able to create an application here, why not? It's a language like C, Java, and Python. So it's not a language; it's a tool. That is built on in Java. So the code behind building this whole tool is a Java, right? So Appian is a BPM tool. So anyone knows what BPM is?
Business process management.
Right, that's correct. Business process management. So what a concept, this is a full form of the BPM, right? So what's the concept behind the business process management? How it works?
As I know, BPM is a style language, assembly interface language.
Right,
So it is there is no other language it is included. It is own language.
right,
That's why it is
right,
calling as a style language.
right. So self-assemble interface language, that's a shell code we use to write our own code, right, in Appian. But yeah, it's a BPM tool. So BPM, business process management, business is nothing but some requirement that we get it from the client, right? Let's say they say I need an interface where I can capture the details of a user. So that's a requirement. So we call it a business. And then a process. Process is like how do you process your data from one place to other place, like from interface level to the database, right? There should be some process defined based on your action taken. You need to pull the information and then you need to pass the data to save it or maybe to send an email. So there should be some process behind it, right? And how do you achieve the things? And then management comes like you must have taking some data and then keeping some here, right? So like input is from your interface, so someone is providing the input to you and you are submitting the data to the database. You might be sending the data to the third party, so different places you might be bringing information in, and then you are going to save it to some other different location, right? So that's a management, how you manage your data. So that's the business process management. Okay, now any question here? Is that clear? What's the business process management?
No.
No? I'm sorry, is that no?
It's clear. It's clear, Maurya.
Okay. All right. So, we talk about the why Appian, why people choose Appian, because it's a low code tool. So anyone knows what's a low code?
There will be no code. We just have drag and drop.
No, that's not correct. Low code, there's two things, low code and no code. Okay, let me see for my feed. All right. Right. So there are two things, right? No code and low code. So no code, definitely, as the name suggests, there's no code is going to be. Whatever is being designed, you just have to reuse it. You cannot make any changes there, right? You cannot do the customization basically. But the low code, where you will have to write some code because it allows you to do the customization. For an example, let's say if you ask a no code tool to design a layout where you need to capture the information of the customer, and let's say it has 10 fields in the form, so it will remain 10 fields, even you cannot move the positions and all, right? That's a no code, it's a predefined template, you just have to reuse it. However, in the low code, it will allow you to do the customization. And if it is allowing you to do the customization, definitely there will be some code changes, right? So you should know some coding. So low code will have like you can use the drag and drop, but you can also customize it by writing some code. Okay. Now what kind of code we have in Appian? You see the example we are seeing, right? If the value x is equal to 5, then yes and or no. So very simple functions, that we use, we learn in the colleges. So you can see the same kind of very simple. In case we are using some any bigger functions like any let's say for example for each function for a looping, right? So it has given what are the parameters it is required, how do you work on this one. So everything you will see in the description window given for each function. You just need to know what kind of function you need to use, what function will be used here, and all the description will be available on the page. Is that clear? No code versus low code. You got it now? So Appian is a low code tool. It's not a no code. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, what kind of application we create in Appian? Anyone? Any idea? So we create a web-based application. Okay. Now, what is a web-based application? So, like IRCTC is also a web-based application. But can we create an IRCTC in Appian? Is this is the best suit? Any, I mean, guys, be interactive. You can talk. There's no harm in talking. So, is Appian, is the best suit to design IRCTC applications? No, because I'll tell you why. Even though IRCTC is a web-based application, you can create application, but it will be very costly for you because Appian is a costly tool. As an average, it takes $75 for one user for a month. So imagine if you build an application like IRCTC, there could be millions of users, and you have to create a millions of credentials, right? Which will be very costly. Even though you can create it, but that's not the big best suit for Appian, right? So what kind of application we built in Appian? We build and web applications, but the audience are limited. Now, how we can say the audience are limited? Because let's say you are building an application for an organization, for a bank. So who will be the audience? Who will be using the end users? The bank employees, right? Which will be very limited. So we build an application in Appian, which is in-house applications. When I say in-house application, it means that it will be used for employees of a particular organization. Right? Now you tell me, you visit a bank, who are the in-house employees? The person who is sitting behind the table, or as a customer, I am in-house employee? Employees, right? So is it okay? Can we create an application for the end users like as us for the customers? We cannot create that, right? Even though we can create, but we cannot have such cost bearing because a bank may have maybe 10,000 of customers or 20,000 of customers, right? Which will be huge. So the cost of the application will be high, right? Now, is that clear? First of all, guys, what kind of application we built in Appian?
In-house.
Right, in-house application. Like, can anyone give me any example of in-house applications?
Any organization having less number of employees.
No, that's fine. But I'm talking about the application. What kind of application? Any example of application that you think that it is an in-house application? Like RCTC is not an in-house application, right? It's a general application for end users, all public, general public. So, an example of in-house applications. You are working in an organization, right?
Teams can be
So if someone is working in any organization, right, you go and you apply your leave. So there's an application for applying the leave.
Yeah, Neo. Do you have it?
Right? So that is for you, only for the company's employee, that who can go and apply the leave. So that's an in-house application. Okay. Now, whenever you visit the bank, you say, I want to open a account with you. So there is some process behind it. They open an interface, they take your details, and then they submit it, then account number gets generated, right? So that kind of application is an in-house application that we build. Okay. Now let's talk about the pharma companies. So let's say there is any pharma company who wants to create a new drug. For that, they do a research. So for all the research steps that they take, right, they want to capture the details and everything. So for that, they need an application. So in-house application is used there. Now, when you talk about the no code and low code, right? So even though Appian is built on Java, but the code is not like Java. You don't use polymorphism and then those oops concept here. No. And you don't have to write all those codings, classes and everything there. Right. So we talk about the low code, right? How it works. You see this one, right? This is an example of text field. So if you want to design a text field in Java code, you have to write the whole code from start to end to design a text field. However, in Appian, you can simply drag and drop a text field component and put it on the UI. It will design a text field for you. Kind of code it will have is behind. This is the code I highlighted. A bank text field. So this is a function that they use to design the text field. And you don't have to write it. You can drag and drop behind the scene. You will see a code is designed for you. So in Appian, we have two windows for a coding. I'm talking about the interface design. One is called design mode and another is called expression mode. Design mode is basically where you drag and drop and you can see your UI, how it is being designed. And in the expression mode, when you click on the expression mode, you will be able to see that what the code has been generated for the drag and drop you did. Right? Similar way, if you want to use a drop down field in your interface, you can simply use a bank drop down field and a drop down will be get displayed. And you can do the configuration, what value you want to display, what you want to save, and all the things you can do it. So that's very easy in Appian to drag and drop the features and then display on the UI. Okay. So yeah, we talk about the no code versus low code, right? It's 100% configuration in the no code, right? No code 100% configuration, you cannot change it. But in low code, it allows you to do the customization so that you can design your own business requirement. Right. We talk about, right, what a cell is. The self-assembly interface language that is used in Appian designing. And we talk about what kind of application we build. Right. Any question, guys, before moving forward? You know now what Appian is and what kind of application it builds. Questions? Right. Is that clear? Anyone? Any doubt?
Yeah, all clear, Ravi. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So let me presentation for you. Yeah. Let me know if you can see the screen. All right.
Yes.
So why Appian? Why company? You see a lot of requirement in Appian because Appian is very fast as compared to the any other programming language or any other tool. Appian is faster. Other tool is also faster, but other tool doesn't give you such customization that Appian gives to you. And obviously, it's a low code tool, so you don't have to do much coding here, right? Come on. All right. Now, what else Appian gives to you? Appian also has its own RPA. When I say RPA, robotic process automation, Appian has its own RPA. Appian has its own artificial intelligence. Appian has its own document management. Appian has its own database. So in case you do not want to integrate with any other programming tools, Appian gives you everything in one package. That's why Appian is most popular as compared to the any other BPM tools. Okay. Right. So these are the agenda that we'll talk about today. Now this is a BPM notations. What is a BPM? How it works, as I talk about, right? Business process management. There's one very a good example that I gave, right? If I ask someone to prepare a tea, right? So how they will do the tea preparation? Someone, they can switch on the stove, they can put a vessel on it, and then they can pour a milk. So there is a step that they follow, right? Then they'll add some sugars, then they add some liquids, and then wait for 5 to 10 minutes, and then a tea will be ready. Then they will pour in a cup and they will serve it to you. So there's a step. Someone can follow that. Someone, instead of first milk, someone try to use some water first, right? So that also tell you that there is not a single way of solving any problem. There could be multiple ways. There could be some better ways to do it, right? Depends on how a person do it. But that's a step that we follow. It's not a regular step. It's a regular step that we follow. So that's what is example given here is that when a customer do the online shopping, right? They a shop will send you an offer. Either you accept the offer or you decline the offer. When you accept the offer, you will make a payment. Once you make the payment, then you will receive a receipt for the payment. Then your package will be product will be get packaged, and then the package will be get delivered, right? So there is a particular step that we follow. Same thing we need to design in Appian by using a concept called process modeling. So what's the process modeling? Process modeling is an object which allows you to do the workflow designing of your application, right? For a simple example, let's say if I ask you create an application for applying a leave. So you can trigger a new action, apply leave. But you can take, you might think, okay, instead of proceed, you say, okay, cancel it for now, I'll do it later. So that's an action you have taken. First action you have taken that you want to apply a leave, then you taken a decision that you want to cancel it. So in the behind the scene, code a system has to understand what action you have taken. Based on that, it will take the workflow. So that workflow you can see on the UI, it's being displayed and how it works. We talk about the Appian, what Appian is, and why it's very famous. Because Appian got a lot of um, uh, projects during the COVID, because due to the reason it makes the application very faster, and in the COVID, company needed application to be built very faster, and Appian came into the picture and they said, hey, you know what, for your clinical trials, I can build an application quickly for you, so you can have all those things, instead of paperwork, you can do it using the application. And by that time, Appian grows with double speed during the COVID, right? Now, Appian gives you the digital transformation that I said by using the process modeling. So you can design and define your workflow, where and which path it has to go based on your decision taking. Right now, as you know, it's a low code Appian. So what's a process mining? That's a different concept of process mining that comes into the AI skills and RPA. It also allows you to find the bottleneck of your application designing. If you have very critical design and somewhere it's facing a lot of issues, right? Appian can tell you that, hey, in this process, you have lots of things configured and then it's slowing down your application. So that process mining can also be done in Appian to understand the workflow. Right, it's easy to build. Definitely, you can see the UIs. These all UI are designed in the Appian, and you will not have to do much coding to display in different screens. With a very minimal changes, you can have the same UI design in laptop, desktop, or maybe the tab or mobile. It auto fits the application with. These are some feedback of companies like Equivia, Bears, and they say that it's very faster. For example, if you talk about the Equivia, they say that there were 12 months of clinical trial, which has been reduced now to 1.5 months. So how fast it is, you see that it's very faster. Even learn and to even design the application. Right. Is it like Appian needs to work individually and cannot work with any other tools? No. Appian can fit anywhere. There are many companies who is using Appian only for the backend as well. Let's say because they want some Ajax kind of UI, so they build a UI in Ajax, and for the backend process they use Appian because it's very faster as compared to the any other. Because in Java and all, right, you need to establish a connection and then you have to send the data, update the data, retrieve the data, and all those things. But here in Appian, everything is within the Appian, right? So you can easily and faster you can save your data, process your data, the decision that you're taking. This is the market positioning where Appian was ready overall as terms of overall rating and then demand. Right, as I was talking, right, so where Appian fits. So Appian can build a whole application by its own, and it can also build an application with combining with some other technology. Maybe you can see with SAP or UiPath, it can integrate. And even though it has its own database, it's not like it won't allow you to use some existing database. You can still use some existing database if you don't want to use the Appian database. So Appian is very flexible in terms of getting integrated and use integration APIs calls to connect with the third parties. Right. So what is Appian, makes Appian very special because as I mentioned initially, right, it has its own RPA, it has its own artificial intelligences, process automations and everything. You can combine everything and then you can build on one whole application. But that reminds me to tell you that, what we are going to learn in this training is only Appian basics. We will not be touching RPA and AI because that's a separate course we have. But we need to understand how we can build an application by using Appian, the pure Appian scale. All right. Now these are some example of Appian UI, how it was. Yeah, I mean, Appian also allows you to design some reports. If you want to design your data in the graphical representation, if you want to have some pie chart, line chart, bar chart, all those chart also you can create and you can showcase your data. As I mentioned, you can build an application by using normal flow plus artificial intelligences and plus bots. So all combined together, you can build one whole application. You can see on the right hand side this UI, right? This is nothing but the process modeling that we have in Appian to design your workflows. Right. Some objects, what are the objects that we will be using? We will be using artificial intelligence. I mean, for the application, we have constant, expression rules, interface, process modeling, reports, records, which are the objects that we will be using to build an application. Right. These are some very few list of Appian customers, who are using Appian for their most of the in-house applications. Right. Okay, so it's quick product demo. Before going to the demo, anyone has any question? What Appian is? What's the market position? What it can do? Any questions, guys? No? All right, let me show you. An Appian UI. Right. So this is the page that you are seeing here, right? This is the Appian UI. I mean, this is for the designer, where as a developer you will be working on this. But Appian has its own separate UIs where you can go and work on that. We will talk about that later. But let me give you one example of Appian application. This is the application that is built by Appian. When you log in, right, it will give you some some few applications are already available that you can go and refer. Right. So this is a site that Appian has built for a company where you can see some global wise information. So this is an overview of the things, using all the charts and all. You can see the plants and then uh, what's the oxygen level and all. You can design the UI according to that. You have the drill down where you can see all your different application and charts if you want. Service request, if you want to create, you can create a new request. If you create a new request, it can ask you what kind of request you want to create and all, right? So you can take an action on it. And then if you want to see the list of the workstations, these are the list of the workstations that we have. If there are any tasks, you can list it here, so you can work with this Appian and you can raise any request and all. Let me show you some other application as well, like order management if you have. So in the order management, you can see on the home page, they are giving you the list of the orders that we have. And if you want to create a new order, you can go and you can see the accounts and all. I think we have not configured anything here, but yeah, this is how you can display the list of the tasks that you might have, to complete your. Uh, let's say, for example, you are applying a leave, right? So it has to go for your manager approval. So manager will receive as a task, and he can see that okay, this is a request that you have made, so that they can approve or reject such kind of things. You can take action on your data. So this is the Appian site that we are using to build an application. I mean, to show your application to the end users where they can go and then access it. Right. And this window that you are seeing is basically designer. If you see this URL, right? This is the URL, and then we have design. So design is basically for the developers where you can go and you can build a new application. So you can create a new application and then you give the name properly and then start designing according to your requirement. So in one Appian environment, you can have n number of applications. It's not restricted. Questions, guys? Anyone? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. So yeah, this is about the Appian.
Okay. And how can we drag and drop, and how can the code runs in the backside? I mean, like expression mode.
Right. So that's the part of the training. We're learning that, right? We'll be learning that how it works, and we can't see that in a one day or maybe in few minutes, right? So that's
Okay.
the code we will learn. Right.
And how many days we can learn this Appian?
So basically, we have training for 40 days, 40 to 45 days. Maybe sometimes it ends early as well. It depends on the questions, how you ask the questions, and how much you are interested.
Okay. Is it for L2 level or else L1 level?
With this training, you can easily clear your level 1 certification, but L2 you have to do some more practice, more in the depth.
Okay. Thank you. No more doubts.
Okay. Anyone else? Maya, Mustaq? Is it okay with the timing? 8:30 a.m. in the morning. I mean, IST, is it okay? Everyone is fine with that?
Fine.
Mhm.
For me, it's fine.
Okay. How about you, Moria? Mustaq? All right. Okay. Do let me know. So we can continue from tomorrow onwards, right? So tomorrow we will be looking how your application works. What are the objects we have, and how do we create an application? All those things we will be looking into it.
Okay.
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 All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.